He looked straight at her outstretched hand and ignored it, not by accident, by choice. In a room full of investors, a powerful executive dismissed a black woman with a smirk, called her irrelevant, and moved on as if dignity were optional. Cameras caught it. People laughed. She said nothing. She simply lowered her hand and let the moment live exactly as it was. What no one in that room understood was that the deal everyone was chasing had already died right there. And within 24 hours, the same man who refused her handshake would be begging for her signature, because it would be the only thing left that could save him. The room was built for confidence. Glass walls, long table, names that carried weight without effort. Lena Moore arrived early and took a seat near the end, not out of hesitation, but precision. She listened while executives joked about margins and timing, about who would save the company this quarter. Every projection on the screen confirmed what she already knew. They were out of options. When the chief executive, Richard Hale, entered, the room shifted toward him automatically. He thrived on that pull. He spoke fast, smiled easily, and never looked at Lena until the introductions reached her. "This is Lena," the host said. "Investor." Richard glanced once. He didn't extend his hand. Instead, he leaned past her, shaking the hands on either side. "Let's keep this moving," he said. "We're tight on time." A pause settled. Lena's hand hovered for a second, then lowered calmly to the table. A few people chuckled, unsure. Someone whispered, "Intern?" Richard smirked and continued, already talking numbers. Lena said nothing. The pitch unfolded like theater. Richard spoke of resilience and legacy, of bridges and loans that would buy them a year. He asked for confidence. He asked for faith. When questions came, he chose who mattered. Lena raised her hand once. He didn't see it. Raised it again. He looked straight through her. "We'll take questions from principals," Richard said. "I am one," Lena replied. Richard laughed softly. "Let's stay focused." Security shifted at the back of the room, responding to his tone more than his words. The host leaned toward Lena. "Maybe after," he whispered. Lena nodded. She opened her notebook and wrote a single line. The meeting ended with applause that sounded like relief. Richard stood, energized. "We'll follow up," he said. "Big week ahead." Lena stood too. "It already passed," she said. Richard turned, irritated. "Excuse me?" "You missed it," Lena replied. "Yesterday." He stared at her. "Do I know you?" "No," she said. "You don't." That night, the clip hit social feeds. Not because Lena posted it, she hadn't, but because someone else did. The moment where her hand was ignored, the laugh, the dismissal. It spread quietly at first, then fast. By morning, partners were calling Richard's office, asking questions he couldn't answer. By noon, the board convened an emergency session. By evening, the banks froze talks. Richard paced his office, phone pressed to his ear. "We just need a bridge," he said. "Short term." The answer was the same every time. Not without Lena Moore. He frowned. "Who?" The board chair exhaled. "The investor you dismissed." Silence stretched. Richard searched her name. Articles loaded, not flashy, precise. She specialized in distressed acquisitions. She didn't rescue companies. She replaced them. "She won't take my call," he said. "She doesn't need to," the chair replied. "She already has leverage." At dawn, the next day, Richard sat in a smaller room, alone. The door opened. Lena entered, calm, unhurried. She didn't offer her hand. "Thank you for coming," he said quickly. "I didn't," she replied. "I was already nearby." He swallowed. "We need to talk." "We already did," she said, sitting across from him. "Yesterday." He forced a smile. "I was distracted." "You were decisive," Lena corrected. Richard leaned forward. What would it take? She opened her folder and slid it across the table. Not thick, final. Your resignation, she said. Public. Immediate. His face drained. That's extreme. So was refusing a professional courtesy in front of witnesses, she replied. I can apologize. You already did, Lena said, by asking for help. He scanned the document. Conditions stacked cleanly. Oversight. Asset restructuring. Executive replacements. His name appeared once, at the end. This ends my career, he said. Lena met his eyes. It ends the one you were misusing. The board members entered, one by one. No small talk. They sat as if attending a verdict. The chair cleared his throat. Richard? Richard looked at Lena. If I sign, you invest? Yes, she said. Into the company that comes after you. A long breath left him. He picked up the pen. His hand shook. Cameras clicked softly from the hallway. He signed. Lena closed the folder. Within the hour, the announcement went live. Markets reacted. Commentators replayed the clip again. His refusal, her silence, the reversal. Richard packed his office quietly. No speech, no farewell. Lena stood in the boardroom where it had begun, addressing the directors. Power isn't volume, she said. It's timing. A director asked, Why didn't you say anything? I did, Lena replied. Just not out loud. She left the building without ceremony. Outside, reporters called her name. She didn't stop. The deal was finalized by sunset. 24 hours earlier, he had ignored her hand. Now, her signature was the only reason the doors were still open. She didn't demand respect. She collected it. If that moment stayed with you, don't stay silent. Like this video, share it with someone who's been underestimated and comment where you're watching from. Write one word that defines what she reclaimed: power, dignity, respect, or justice, and subscribe for more stories where silence becomes leverage and arrogance pays the price.